that is, and there's studies that have shown that the ore trucking that they do that would be similar to the Ambler Road has caused contamination of the tundra with zinc and cadmium and lead out to a half kilometer away from that road. And this Ambler Road would cross over 3,000 streams, including many of those big rivers where the sheefish are spawning just downstream, and the
Yeah.
salmon too. So all these places are areas where those contaminants would be getting into the water, traveling downstream, getting into the food web. And then,
Huh.
of course, if the mines were put in, there's a danger that there could be some catastrophic spill or failure, which has
Right.
happened in Alaska and Canada in recent years. And so, is that worth it? Just upstream of the world's best sheefish river and many of its tributaries, I don't know. Um,
Man.
for me, an angler, I would say no. If I was employed by the mining industry or something, maybe it would be the other way.
Yeah. Yeah. So luckily we've got people like you who are putting the baseline down so we can have some proof about what impact it's having.
Yeah, I
Uh,
think that's going to be really important is that we can at least tell what's there now and try to respond to anything that might happen if that road goes through. And it's not a done deal, so there's a bunch of native landowners that the mining companies have to strike deals with to finalize the road getting through. And there's been some arguments and stuff through there, so it's probably going to be, I would say, a couple of years till anything really gets constructed on the road. And so there's
huh.
potential that it may not go through.
Do you feel like Alaska has a good history of resource development like this, or what typically happens in Alaska when these mines come and go?
Yeah, some of the mines are really great for the community and everything, and we rely on those industries like oil and mining for a lot of our money in Alaska. Around Fairbanks, where I live, there's the Fort Knox gold mine and the Pogo gold mine, which have been running for decades, and they have had environmental breaches where they've had spills of like cyanide into the river, and we don't know what happened to the fish there, but they pay the fine, they correct things, but of course, there's a lot of oversight for those mines because they're right next to communities. If there's mines way out in Northwest Alaska with very little oversight except themselves, maybe something different would be at play. So I, you know, I'm not anti-mining or anything, and I certainly know the value of mining and oil and gas exploration in Alaska. But I think putting a road through Gates of the Arctic National Park and mines in right upstream of the sheefish on the Kobuk is a pretty risky thing. So.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Is there anything that we can do as the angler community?
Just raising awareness. You know, yeah, like at this point, because that appeal was basically upheld, and so the permit was authorized. There's not so much that can happen except for a lot of litigation, I guess, at this point. But just keep aware of it if you're interested in this area or going she fishing. Keep a tab on what's going on, and there's likely opportunity to at some point, send a message to your congressperson because these are federal lands. This
Right.
road would be crossing federal land, so it's any American has a say in what's happening on these lands. It's not just Alaskans, even though I often see like, if you're not Alaskan, you shouldn't have an opinion on this road. But these are the American public's land, so I highly encourage folks to talk to their congressional representatives and just talk to other anglers, get the word out about it if you can. And there may be opportunity in the near future to actually make an impact on it.
And this it's a foreign mine company that's coming in.
Yep. So it's called Trilogy Metals is who's kind of pushing the road, and so it's kind of jointly owned by Australian and Canadian companies. Um, and it kind of feels weird when these foreign companies are coming in because I don't have a lot of trust that they won't just kind of bolt if something bad happens. And
Yeah.
a lot of the Canadian companies have had a poor track record. There was something called the Mount Holly disaster where an entire river got wiped out by a tailings dam failure. So, and that was a Canadian company that, operated that. So I'm pretty worried about those sort of things happening. I wish it was more of a U.S. based company. And yeah, so we probably won't see too much economic benefit, if any, from these foreign mining companies coming in. And then this ore is being trucked all the way to Fairbanks and then put on the railroad to Anchorage and then shipped to East Asia or Canada to be
Really?
processed. So
Huh.
there can't be a lot of there can't be a lot of profit after all that happens. It's a long ways. It's like 400 miles
Right.
by road with this ore, which is really heavy. Then like another 400 miles by rail, and then hundreds or thousands of miles through the ocean to get to processing facilities. We don't have any. for zinc and cobalt and these minerals that are going to be extracted from those mines in Alaska.
Yeah.
So I don't know if the public's going to get a lot of benefit, and probably the construction companies, the mining companies will, but I don't see a lot of benefit and a lot of risk for the outdoors
Profits.
community.
Sounds like the profits are going elsewhere.
I'm not sure. It's pretty speculative. All
Yeah.
that who knows if the mines will ever be advanced if the road goes in. So